Hey guys, I thought I would just make a quick little video, give you a little tour of my home. This is my mansion. I'm going to share with you exactly how many bedrooms I have in this house. You're going to be shocked, utterly shocked. But I thought I would just give you a little tour because 7 years ago, I didn't have any money. When I say I didn't have any money, I'm talking about the only thing I had was a prepaid credit card from Money Mart, and even then you had to put money on it in order to use it. So when I was at a hotel with my wife, I remember booking a room with this prepaid credit card. It was actually a prepaid Visa card from the Royal Bank, and when I got to the hotel in Banff, they said that we can't accept that card here. It's good for reservations, but you can't book a room. So I called my daughter. This was about 7 years ago. Called my daughter and asked her if I could borrow her Visa card number over the phone so we can book a hotel room. So we did that. Obviously, I paid my daughter back the next day, but I was so embarrassed, so humiliated, because I didn't have any credit cards. Zero. Zilcho. And before that, I actually bought a home as an investment tool in another town, and I lost that home. I had to throw the keys, went into foreclosure because it was a drug op, and I share that story in another video somewhere. I'm sure I've shared it. But basically on April Fool's, cops called me up and said, hey, we got to condemn your brand new home that you just bought, and because there's a drug op in the basement. They had a grow up. So around my yard, the grass was green and all the snow was melting. And these guys were like the best renters on the planet. They paid on time. But then I had to basically kick them out. Obviously they got arrested and all this kind of stuff. And then because I couldn't pay for that mortgage plus the rent that I had to foreclose. I had to give them the keys back, and I owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. The banks were notorious. They were calling me 6 days a week. It's ridiculous. Hard times. I never slept. And got to the point where I was recruiting for an engineering company and lost my job. And when I got home, my wife had enough of your ploys, if you will. Nothing works for you. So she grabbed her ring, threw it at me, and kicked me out of the house. So I wandered the streets for a little bit, basically to my vehicle, and called up a buddy because he was an investor, real estate guy, and he had a couple of apartment buildings, and in one of the apartments he had a vacant apartment. So I was able to go there and squat there for a few weeks until I basically got my feet underneath me. And when I say an apartment, it was like a rundown place, and there was no power, no electricity. All of the other apartments had power, but not this one. No furniture, nothing. So I had to run an extension cord underneath the door so I could have power, because I was applying for jobs on Indeed. So I had nothing, and I was swiping past jobs that I didn't want to do. Like, that job's beneath me. That job's beneath me. So I looked around the empty room and I'm like, this sucks. Life sucks right now. And let me just, before I go inside, let me just show you this house here. So when that was happening, when I was in an empty apartment, this house was being built. So I find that fascinating. At the same time that I was down and out, had no money, no credit cards, nothing, this house was being built for me. Had no idea. Anyways, give you a little tour here. Here's my house. Let's go inside here. Here we go. Here's some more sayings on the wall, love all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you how many bedrooms I actually have in this house. It's amazing. It's like a mansion, I'm telling you. So here's a bedroom over here. Some people might say it's a bathroom. I say it's a bedroom. It's up to me how many bedrooms I want in my house, really. This here, It might look like a kitchen, but this is another bedroom. Over here is my dining room, another bedroom. Over here, where my dog is my living room. Out here is another bedroom, right here. And in fact, over there in another yard, my neighbor has one of my bedrooms in his backyard. And every time he goes out there, I'm like, hey, you are in my bedroom. Get out. Anyways, so let's go upstairs. It's a little bit of a mess down here. A little bit of a mess. I wasn't going to give a tour today, but all right. So family pictures, kind of cool. Upstairs, here's another bedroom here. This is the master bedroom, spare bedroom, bathroom. Then here's my office. You've seen this before. This is where I record everything. Can you see my computer? This is where I sit, do all my chit chats, all my books. Anyways, let's go over here. Here's the laundry room. And then over here is my theater, my little personal home theater. It's got 5 seats. And over here is my huge TV. I think that's a whopping 60 inches. Amazing, amazing. And then over here, it's all my DVDs for my movies. So anyways, so how did I do it? How was I able to get into a house like this? Well, it actually helped that I met with a bank, believe it or not. I went to the Royal Bank and I booked a meeting and I said, I need some advices. I need some tips because I got no credit cards, nothing. So the bank manager said to me, he said, well, if you want to build up your credit, because right now your credit score is crapola, you need to get more debt. I was like, what? This is insane. I thought Dave Ramsey was saying stay out of debt and all this kind of stuff. And the guy just kind of smiled. He said, no, what you need is you need to have accounts. You need to have different people that trust you with their money and you pay it back, and then that helps you build up credit. So for example, if you have a line of credit with like a bank like Scotia Line, or if you have a line of credit with other banks and all this kind of stuff. And I had none of that at that time. None. Zero. Zilcho. So I said, well, how am I going to do this? Because obviously you guys won't give me a line of credit. And they said, this is true. But they said what you could do is you could reach out to Capital One. They have a great starter program. Basically, they offer a credit card. Doesn't matter what your credit score is. It could be crap, like mine was crap. And it's almost like a prepaid credit card where you put $500 or $1,000 down, and then whatever you use, it's basically your own money, but you're actually building up credit. But for some mistake or whatever, they gave me the credit card and I didn't have to put a nickel down. Nothing, zero. They gave me a $1,000 credit limit. So I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. So then I applied to what was the website? Oh, it's Credit Karma. Went on to Credit Karma, and when you go on there, you create a free account. They actually recommend credit cards based on your score. So I applied to a whole bunch of credit cards. After I got the Capital One card, I applied for 3 other Capital One cards, and then I applied for some American Express cards. And then I applied for a PC card, a Bank of Montreal card, a Costco card. What else did I have? Oh, and then I went back after about a year or two to the Royal Bank and got a credit card from them. I know I have more. Just trying to think. Who's the other? I think that's pretty much it. I have 15 credit cards. Then, after about 5 years of that, I went back to the Royal Bank and I basically said that I need a line of credit and I would like to buy a house. So, because we were looking around, shopping around. So then they pulled my credit report, which I was terrified. And they said, wow, it looks like you like to stay out of debt. I was like, what? 5 years ago, I had nothing. And now you're looking at me like I can manage my money and all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, no problem. We'll approve you for a mortgage. I think I was approved for $460, something like that. So we ended up getting this house for $400,000. And it was because I had a bunch of accounts, a bunch of credit cards that were slowly building up my credit score, and I was paying them all off. And there's an art to that as well. There's a real art to that. It's not good enough to just put something on a credit card and then the next day you pay it off. You have to do it a little bit more purposeful. So what I would do is I would pretty much put about 80% on my credit cards. So let's say if my credit card was $1,000, I'd put about $800 on there, like buying groceries and all this kind of stuff, for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the 21-day period. And then I would pay it off, because you need it to register that you're actually using the credit card. If you only put $100, again, using that example of a credit card, and you pay it off right away, they're going to reduce your limit. They're going to go, well, this guy doesn't need a $1,000 limit. He needs like $500. So that's the trick as well. So I would do that with all of these cards. I would put it up to 80% and pay them off like within 3 weeks. And then what I found is they were sending me notices in the mail saying that we are going to increase your credit. So all of a sudden, one credit card company would give me $15,000 worth of credit. Another one would give me like $10,000. And then the bank gave me a line of credit. And then they gave me another line of credit. And then they would increase that line of credit. So it would start off at like $5,000 or $10,000, and then it went up to $20,000. And all of a sudden, I had over $100,000 in credit available to me. And then the banks looked at that and went, oh, this guy's responsible for that. And then that's how I was able to get approved for a house, for a mortgage. So if you like this type of thing, I could share more. I can go deep down the rabbit hole. If you have credit card debt, it's not the end of the world. I'm telling you. You just talk with the credit card companies, man. There are all kinds of credit card companies out there. Some are difficult to work with. Some are very tough to work with. But other ones, the ones that I found that were the best were like American Express, believe it or not, was pretty good. Who else is pretty good to work with? Capital One. I would say Capital One is just awesome. Like if you lose your job or whatever, if there's a pandemic, for example, and you lose your job, they won't even ask questions. You can actually make a deal with them where they will just say, you know what? You don't have to you just make minimum payments until you pay off their credit card if it takes you 5, 6, 7 years, and we're not going to charge you any interest. So instead of 22% interest on Capital One, you're now paying 0 interest, and your credit score actually goes up. And I can go on and on and on. The credit card companies want you to have credit. Forget what Dave Ramsey's saying. Forget what he's saying. It's not true. He's made his millions of dollars because he sells online courses to people to help them get out of debt. So think about that. And then he just bought like a multi-million-dollar mansion for entertaining people. So, yeah, so I'd be careful in listening to everything that he said. Where am I going with all this stuff? So yeah, if you're in the hole and you're like, man, this sucks, I would say don't worry about the credit. They can't do anything with credit cards. They can't go after you, nothing. The ones that you have to be careful are taxes, obviously. They can come in and scoop your money out of your bank account, and I've been there. A long time ago, I was there. Every time I would have my checks bounced from my previous mortgage, the property that I had in another town, it'd bounce like a rubber hammer. I'd get hit two $200 a pop. Sometimes that would happen 3 or 4 times in a day. I would get hit with NSF charges. Yeah, it was horrendous. And then the government would come in and scoop because I owed GST or something, and they'd come in and take all my money. And I have nothing. I couldn't even go to McDonald's and buy food. That's how bad it was. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think clear, all this kind of stuff. But the reason why I'm making some of these videos is to let you know that, hey, there is hope. It's never as bleak as you think it is. That's why I created Authority Attracts. You have to find that authority to change your life for the better, to make better decisions. And it's just one step at a time. That's all it is. But yeah, with credit card companies, they can't do anything to you really. At the end of the day, you can negotiate your way out of stuff. You can. So if you ever need help with that, just let me know in the comments section. If you have any questions about credit cards, all this kind of stuff. If you like this kind of thing, I can make a video about this as well. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to be able to give you hope out there if you're in over your head with credit cards and all this kind of stuff, that it is possible. It is possible to get a home and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be a mansion. It doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar place. It just needs to be your home. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the tour of this tiny little home. But I love it. We love our garden, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's it. But thanks a lot for watching. If you like this type of thing, subscribe, click the thumbs up, all this kind of stuff. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now.